What's going on? Welcome into TFEs alongside Dalen Cuff, Kelsey Riggs Cuff, and it's been a minute. My attire reflects the way I feel right now, which also probably reflects the way my wet hair after a shower looks, and the hat and the glasses that most definitely hide my face. This is the whole airport look, except for we're not going on the plane for like another day over here. So TFE is off the top for me, or I'm feeling a little tired and lazy right now.
Okay. That's just,
I guess those are just feelings.
yeah. Do you want to keep going? Your thought is, I'm happy about my attire. I'm upset.
Oh yeah, thoughts. I'm very happy about my attire. It was a beautiful day today. Grateful to have had a couple days in town before our next adventure. Feelings also excited about kind of reflecting on where we've been and what we did. And emotions are, I'm grateful you're home.
Grateful to be back. Perfect. Okay. My TFEs, the thoughts are, first, we will share maybe the first take we did at a different time, because I'm still reeling from the first take and how Kels began that part of the show. We'll save that for another date. But my thoughts are, I matched your attire.
You did. I appreciate that.
I love this is one of my favorite outfits you have, your airplane attire.
Thank you.
I think your ass looks phenomenal in these pants.
Should I stand up and like show it off?
I mean, I like to keep your eyes on your own paper sometimes, but feel free to give the camera what they want. Do whatever you want.
Catch me in the airplane. How about it?
How about that? Yeah, I love this attire. Love this outfit. So I'm very into it. That's why I'm just so happy to sit next to you and cuddle you on planes. It's more about how you look in that attire. No, I'm just kidding. Blood flow.
You're so weird.
But no, I feel like I'm in somewhat trying to get to decompression mode with you. We will after this is over, or maybe I won't. Who knows? We'll see what's going on with work. But feelings are I love golf, but it has a mental and physical negative impact on me sometimes, which is not great.
You went there because when I was going to open this can, I was like, we could start this off on the really wrong foot. But go ahead. And
there's a couple things here with me.
Then I'll weigh in.
A couple things here. I have not practiced enough this year to be mad, but I'm still frustrated, because then the frustration is like, why aren't you practicing as much? Why aren't you finding go buy your net, go across the street and chip balls like I did last year? Because if I want to get these rare times to actually play, I could still practice like an hour or two. I could find time. It's more reasonable. It's looking at me like I'm crazy. I think it's reasonable. You don't.
I'm just taking in your full.
But here's the thing:
statement.
It's my favorite thing to do, and when you're so excited to do it, and then you do it really shitty, I still enjoy being out there. I still enjoy the time, but then there's like a physical and mental toll that is taken. That course is also hard to walk. Like we walk so many hills, my legs are sore. I feel like an old man saying that. My wrist, too much fescue, hitting out of the fescue. My wrist hurts. It's not good.
Don't know what that means.
Fescue's the high grass, like golf courses. Come on, girl. Fescue.
Put that one on the board.
So my feelings are, I'm a little conflicted mentally, because I enjoyed my day. I missed you guys, but I also had a frustrating day at the same time. So it was all mixed up in the same complicated experience we call golf, which is a little bit of a synonym for life. Sometimes can be just right there.
So deep.
Yeah, right there.
I just need to pause before you continue, because I don't understand how a hobby can be healthy when you are gone doing said hobby for 8 hours.
The drive each way is an hour and a half, but go ahead.
And as a result of said hobby, you come home grumpy.
Because I just told you it. It's something I get so rarely to do, and I'm so excited about, that you want to enjoy the full experience. To enjoy the full experience, in some regard, your level of play affects that.
And then you said, I just really need a net. Who tried to buy you a net for Father's Day a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it's like my mom's gifts. It's like, hey, if you're gonna get the gift, just get the gift. Don't send me the link.
I asked you if I could get it, and you said no. I need to look at it. I need to make sure it's what I want first. And then I showed it to you, and you're like, "This seems really nice." No, don't get it. I don't need that.
Because you also said next year, can I get a Mother's Day gift? So there's like, all right, well then if we're doing this, then no, I don't want a Father's Day gift. So I don't want to come back. That's if you're gonna tell the story, let's tell the story the right way. So there we go.
Well, I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus.
We were in Myrtle. We've already done this thing on the pod before. We don't need to do that again. But yes, baby, you'll get all the gifts, and I'm going to get myself a net at a different point in time. But I'm going to use said net. I'm going to go chip some balls. We're going to get more confident in our game, and we're going to enjoy the rare experiences we have to go golfing in its full fettle. And then I'll come home in a much more chipper mood to you and to Dace and to 4 hours of podcasting.
Did you like have a like talk with yourself in the car about like just like were you trying to like amp yourself up to come home and pretend like you're in a good mood and had a good day, or like you were just like, I'm just gonna come in like it is?
You don't want me to read my text to Derek from an hour ago about the car
car
ride home.
I would actually love for
the car ride home. I was literally just I literally went through almost every shot in my head again in frustration, and I started 1 over through 3. Everything seems fine. We're bogey that I should have parred and 2 pars. We're rolling. Okay, things are good. Then you why am I doing this again? See, this is the problem. But you go off the handle, you start making some mistakes, you don't think the game, and you just snowball. And it just snowballs. And it's not good. So no, the car ride home was not about I'm going to come home and act chipper. The car ride home was me yelling at myself angrily and then thinking, I definitely need a new putter. I definitely need a 5-wood. I have to get my net. Now, again, this hobby is an expensive hobby, which is problematic for different reasons right now. So the equipment is going to be what it is. What I can do is get a net and go chip some balls across the street, because I live across the street from par 3. And that can be relatively inexpensive and can have a long return. And I did it last year, and I felt better. Many times that I golfed last year, I came home very happy.
You were a pro last year.
And I intend...
I mean, you're about to be on the tour.
I was literally aiming for the Champions Tour. I thought by the time I'm 50, I could probably do this. Yeah, I thought after one... Look at what one off season of practice does. No.
I can't... But it's so interesting to me, because I cannot think of another hobby that if I have the opportunity to do it, there's like a 50-50 chance I might come home in a bad mood.
Because, okay, here, let's be honest with this, though, too, I am such a competitive person, and that entire part of my life is muted, is gone, doesn't exist, with the exception of golf. And now the guys we play with today, that's not even part of it, too. They didn't want to compete in any way. I find that even harder then, because then I get frustrated and I can mentally check out versus being like, yo, you got to lock back in. Like, we're competing here. Like, let's go. So that also is part of the problem too. Like, you are then literally competing against yourself, and that is like the hardest way to compete. But that's part of what the hobby is. It's I've told you, I think I told you this off the pod, so I may as well say it now. I stole it from it's either a comedian or something I saw online. But he's right. When you come to me with a problem, what do me and most men tend to do?
I don't remember.
It's not remember. This is when you want to give me your problems, what do I and most men do in response? We try to solve your problem. Which most times women aren't looking to solve your problems. It's more listening, empathy, sympathy, maybe an occasional suggestion, but usually that's not the answer. Men always right away go to, oh, we'll do this, or oh, we'll do that. Not exactly the best response we get from our ladies when we do that. Why golf is amazing is every single shot is like a problem with 10 variables, and every single shot is a different one of those that I get to try to solve in my own way, shape, or form. It is like, it's wired for men in that regard. Like, it is just a game that is a bunch of different solutions, a bunch of different problems with a bunch of different variables, and can you solve the problem? And when you don't solve the problem, and you struggle in the process of even trying to solve the problem, it can be frustrating. Just like we were trying to do a math equation that doesn't work out.
I'm not saying I don't understand it. It's part of the reasons probably why I haven't gotten into golf more that I would like to, but I don't like things that I'm not good at. So like, to invest too much time into something that I struggle a lot with now seems a little counterproductive to me, because then I'm going to be frustrated. I want to be good at it.
Have you ever hit a really good shot where you feel it in your loins?
And then I'm like, I could be really good at this.
It's addicting. Did you feel it's like there's a feeling that goes along with that?
That one shot keeps you coming back.
Yeah, and today we had a number of them.
But that one attitude that you come home with after being gone 8 hours golfing makes me not want you to go back.
Yeah, I think that's why I think it's. I get that. I don't think you like me to go at all most times. So I don't think it is a long time to be gone. So that's.
It's not that I don't like you to go. It's just, yes, it is a hobby that literally takes all day.
Yeah, I understand that. And this is clearly, we have to find a solution here, because
we just found a solution. You just golfed. You're going to golf again this week. You golf.
It's different. When I golf with your dad and your parents, it doesn't even count. It does not count, because you want that to happen and you're cool with that. If it's golfing here when I could just be at home, that's when there's more like, do Do you need to do that? That's why I feel like if I got off at 7 a.m. and I was back at noon, I think that's more of a palpable thing.
Yeah, but I mean, being gone from 10 to 6 is a lot.
You're
different.
using this example like this is our town course, okay? This is a guy invited me to a really nice course that I
just
play
saying.
once a year.
I'm
It's
just
once.
saying,
It's an
it is-
annual event.
It is different.
That's an annual event, okay? That's not me going to the town
You're
reunion.
also acting like you ask me to golf all the time, and I say no. The last time that you golfed is because I booked you a tee time before I was going out of town.
That's because it was Father's Day was coming up.
I know, and I felt bad, so I did that.
But then I couldn't do that tea time anyway. But that's a whole different thing. My point here is, yes, it is a weird, not point, to answer your question. Most people's hobby provides them pure enjoyment, pure disconnect, whatever it may be. Golfing provides a disconnect, an enjoyment, a competition, a problem-solving experience, and an ability to be outside with your friends. It does all those things that most things don't do for anything that I like. None of those things are all encompassed in the same time. So it is a unique activity, and when you're good at it, there's no greater feeling. It's like gambling. When you're bad at it, it
all
sucks.
those things, and it potentially pisses you off for the rest of the day.
But
maybe the next.
Here's the
days.
thing I would say. Let this now. What a diatribe we're on right now. Like 10 minutes of golf talk.
I was just glad you brought it up because I was going to bring it up, and then I was like, I don't know if we're going to recover from this.
We
It's
can
going to be really annoying.
The annoying part to me is not that I didn't like play well. The annoying part to me is that I know I can be better if I just practice more. Like just practice more. And then if you don't play well, it's like, okay, you didn't swing it well today, but you're not doing the thing. There should be no expectation. That's my problem, that I should be better than I was today. Because you haven't put in the time. So let's put in some freaking time. Let's buy the net. Let's do what you did last year, where you had some decent rounds. And it's not a hard thing.
Let's find a new spot in the outside of the house to
We
hit
are.
instead of outside Dace's window, as we found out, not productive.
Well, yeah, it sounds like gunshots in his room. We don't need that. But also, I don't have to do it while he's
sleeping. Oh,
yeah, it's my bad. Now he doesn't. Maybe it doesn't have to be when he's asleep. Maybe I can just do it for 30 minutes while he's awake. That could happen too, and maybe that's all right. So, yes, I think the funny part is you are not unique in this. You are literally almost every woman on the planet that's just like, I don't get this of your dude.
I didn't say that I don't get it. I just find it an interest. I thought about it after you came home, and you weren't like rude or anything. You just spent 8 hours away on a beautiful golf course, having a once in a year adventure. And you came home not in a good mood because of how it went. I just
want the experience, yeah.
I find that fascinating that it's like this is the hobby that either makes or breaks the rest of you. Yesterday, you were like a good giddy little 5-year-old in the kitchen. Like, I'm just so excited. I'm going to golf tomorrow. I can't stop thinking about it. Da, da, da. And you come home and you're like a grumpy little 5-year-old. You're the other side of it.
Yeah. Nobody has any sympathy for you. I'm immature. What do you want from me? Sorry.
I didn't say you're immature.
I did.
I just think it's interesting. I was like, what is there out there that I like to do that would like make me feel like such highs and lows?
Why do we love sport? It makes us feel things. And most times when we cover sport, we're covering it objectively. Unless we go to the U.S. soccer game, then we get to feel some things. Or when we're actually playing. The only thing I can play anymore is golf. And maybe not that anymore because my wrist and back are in shambles right now. It's a whole different problem.
I interrupted before your emotions. Do you want to get to that, or do you want to get to U.S. soccer? Because
my emotions, I guess, are despite the frustrations of today. I still was trying to be like I was on the course, literally saying like out loud to the caddy, "Beautiful day. Just happy to be here, man. This is great. Just trying to smile through it."
Good job.
Despite the frustration, there is still a level of, I'm really happy I got to do that. I'm glad it was a beautiful day. I'm glad you guys had a good day too. And I'm looking forward to playing on Wednesday with your father.
Good. I didn't know that was when it was happening, but glad
to. Oh yeah. Well, your dad texted back this morning.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Glad to know the plan. I'm looking forward to all of that for you. You mentioned that the way sport makes us feel. And I would love for you to take me through. We talked about it a little bit, but it was kind of like one and done. We went to the game. You flew out the next morning. I flew to work the next morning. And we really like haven't gotten to like sit and decompress together. We did that day, but we went to the U.S. Australia Men's World Cup soccer game in Seattle. And it was awesome. But we haven't really gotten to like kind of relive it and talk about it. And even when the U.S. played again, we were texting each other, but I was on my way home from that work trip. Like what are your feelings surrounding like that entire experience?
I guess it's weird because we haven't been able to talk about it much, but I've talked about it with 15 different people. And like in every interview I've done this week for like in a work setting, whether it was supposed to be about basketball or supposed to be about betting, the first thing everyone talked about was, you went to the game. Tell me about the game. So I guess I'm more interested, honestly, to hear your side of it, because like I've said this so many times, that was one of the best experiences of my life. Not sports experience, just experiences. And to get to share it with you made it like truly special that we got to go there. And very rarely do you have an experience or an event that you're going to go take part in that you have very high expectations for. And we're like, this is going to be a lifetime event. And it actually meets, if not exceeds, that feeling or thought or hope. And this did. Like it was everything about the day. Being in Seattle was important too, because it's a walkable city. So we got to the stadium. So you got to, like, everything just seemed perfect. We got to, walk to the venue, and you could feel the vibes as we got closer. We stopped at the bar. You got all these American jerseys there. You have some Aussies there too. So it's like that positive, competitive vibe is in the air. Our seats were great. Thanks to Justin, our guy that hooked us up with those and gave us the opportunity to do that. Incredibly grateful for that and thankful for him for allowing that to happen. So the crew we went there with was amazing. And then the game itself, like to sit there with you and like take that game in was bananas. Nobody sat down except for the hydration break and the halftime. Like everybody was fully engaged. That national anthem will be something I remember for the rest of my life. Like all of us there belting it out. And our country's got problems and we are deeply divided and we've got all these other issues. But most of that division is either created from the politics or from like these belief systems or tribes we're part of. When we're in there, everybody's just freaking all in for America and all in for those guys on the field to represent us the way we want our country represented. And part of why we love them in that Paraguay game, what they did in Australia, they are representing the best of us. Like they are together, they're connected, they are playing well, they are playing with great energy, great pride, great togetherness, like all these things that you want to see them do. And then I think they fed off the crowd, and they've said that too. They're feeding off of our energy and our love and our passion for our country, but also for what we want them to do to represent our country in this sporting endeavor, which ultimately is not impactful in the greater scheme in terms of like what it should. But I think it is like what this country needs right now is this event. And the foreigners that have come here are like, oh yeah, America's pretty freaking great. I forgot about that. We read a lot of shit, but the Americans are pretty great. The political system, both sides, is a freaking disaster. And what you read is a problem. But what the people are here, we're still good people. And we love to throw a party. We love to throw an event. We love to celebrate our team and our country. And to be able to do that with you and to have you somehow, you knew good job videoing the goal because you were waiting there on the...
I had a couple non-goal videos too.
But in the set piece, like my buddy that I was playing with today, Mark goes, yeah, did she just video the whole game? I go, no, she's a former soccer player. It was a set piece. She's like, they may score here. We're sitting right behind the goal. It's the right time to bust out your phone and video it. Nailed it. But yes, I talked a lot. You asked for me to go first, and I said I've done this a lot, but I apparently want to do it again. It was remarkable, and to be there with you to do it for something that we will always remember forever is pretty cool.
It was really, really special. I think you touched on something that I think is my favorite part of sports, and it's something that we always often take for granted, is just how much like when you step onto a field, a court, and into an arena, like nothing else matters. It's just a bunch of different people that are all there for similar reasons. And you look different, you have different beliefs, you've come from different backgrounds, and all of these people, whether it's obviously, I feel like more of an elevated experience when you're rooting for the country, but whether it's rooting for a country or rooting for a team, it is just such a unique experience for everybody. It's almost like this escape to just put everything else aside and to look around and realize that everybody's there just doing the same thing, trying to enjoy it, having an escape. I love during the national anthem to look around and just, especially, I don't have a lot of times, like you said, where we're at games just to be at games and not covering them, but to look around and to take it in. I have a video from the women's Final Four a year ago, and I'm standing on the court with Dace. It was when I had him with me. And they're singing the national anthem, and I recorded him watching it because I wanted to see him taking it in, the lights, the people, and everything. And I was so emotional watching it, just thinking like this is an experience that he'll never remember. But this is such a cool moment when you take the second to like look around and you see all the different people, and it's so emotional, and it's just like everybody coming together and you know, usually during the national anthem for the most part, being patriotic. That was a super cool moment for me with Dace when I got that experience, because like how often do you get to bring your child to something like that? But then to be able to do it with you here in Seattle for the World Cup, I mean, it was just incredible. From the lead up to it, even like afterwards, I feel like I was still reeling. We were walking through, and I was like, that is like the most fun of it. Like I don't think that could have gone any better. I just was blown away by it all. I loved Seattle. I was surprised how cool Seattle was, even though I've been there a couple of times. I've always been there for work, and it was nice for us to get to like hang out and see it. It was beautiful weather. Seattle gets such a bad rep for, you know, always being cloudy and rainy and just gross. And it wasn't. It did stay dark until like 10:40, stay light until like 10 p.m., 10:30 at night. That was wild. I don't know, but the game itself was just so magical. I felt like, of all, you said shout out to Justin, but like how lucky were we? It wasn't just that the 2 goals were scored on our end. In the second half, when Australia was attacking our goal, there was all kinds of action in front of us on our side as well. So from a soccer perspective, we had everything right in front of us. And I just think it's something so special and pure of people like celebrating their love for their country, which is such a big, unique, complicated thing and group of people. But then it just all boils down to like in that moment, everybody's just so happy to be there. And that joy is like palpable. And, you know, for the U.S. to win, I mean, we could be seeing that we saw the team play that wins the World Cup. I'm just saying we could.
Technically, yes, we can still say that.
We could.
We could.
You never know. So it was really special. I will say I was blown away looking around, because sometimes I can't shut my brain off. And like, you know, we saw what tickets were going for. And I'm like, that person, really not that person, that couple has 3 small children with them. How much money did they just, and then looking around, like how much money do people have from other countries to fly here and to stay and to get these tickets and to book hotels and to do all of these things? It's literally mind blowing how much money there is in the world. When you take a look from that perspective of like these, I mean, there were 3-year-olds that you had to buy a ticket and a seat for that were there at the game.
Yeah, I think that, we actually talked about this with Spatola today, in terms of like sports becoming a luxury event, like the pricing out of people, and within our income equality issues in our country becoming more, this being almost a symbol of that. And the World Cup definitely is. I mean, the get-in price for that game was about $1,000. Now, if you did the lottery ahead of the whole time, and you can do that for 4 tickets, whatever a family could do, in theory, you could get those tickets at face value. But to your point, they were about $1,000 a person. So that's $4,000. Now, the question is, how much money in the world is also how much of your net worth are you willing to spend on this? Like there are well-documented cases from people from Argentina and Brazil where people are spending, you know, the whole tournament here, camping out here, doing this here, trying to shack up here, and spending probably way more than you should. But to them, this is this experience they want to have. And we're willing to spend a good amount of money for us. And the question is, yes, I'm sure many of those people there probably were doing well off, but some that weren't were making it an absolute sacrifice to make sure that their kids were there. The 3-year-olds, the babies, I never quite get. I'm not sure if they're ever going to remember that. But there are, I mean, maybe
cheaper knowing the cost of childcare. Maybe it's just cheaper to bring them than find somebody to keep them while you're away.
That's a good point. You have a situation, though, where there's, from the 94 World Cup, there are countless examples of our athletes that played in the U.S. men's, women's team that remember that when I was 5, I went to that, or when I was 6, I went to that. Like, that is a seminal moment for a lot of people. And hopefully that will be that way for so many young kids that got to be there, young American kids. Maybe they choose to be soccer players instead of basketball players or football players. That's why this can have a broad-reaching effect from a soccer standpoint in our country, just for people wanting to participate and wanting to become a fan and then a player in this thing, and how it could potentially change kids' lives.
I think that's what's really cool to me every time that there's a World Cup or anything like that, where you hear so many people talking about soccer that aren't normally and sincerely into it and loving it, and not, you know, kind of, okay, it was only 1-0, but that one mistake cost the game, versus, you know, in another game where there are multiple mistakes and that may not be, the make or break moment. I think it's really cool to see other people either falling in love with the sport or just getting on board and still not quite understanding it. But again, like you want to be part of something bigger. Yeah. Like you want to go stand in the street and celebrate because your team won and this is the U.S. And I think that's something that has been cool to see in the past as well. And even through this World Cup, because we were talking about it last episode when we came on, we were like, nobody even knew this was happening.
This has been the most important thing in this World Cup was the U.S.'s first performance beating Paraguay 4-1. The manner in which they won that game opened the door to a lot of Americans that either weren't interested or didn't even know what was happening. But then it's like, oh, Americans like to be good. Yeah. We also like to be super negative and like to opt out and say like, yeah, soccer doesn't matter. But when you saw that they were good, you're like, oh, okay, well, was this Paraguay or are we good? Like, what's the deal? But you like goals, you like scoring, you like the way they played. So that got other people to watch it, to talk about it. And once you saw all the social media stories of all the foreigners here, like celebrating America and the world's game, the world's event,
ranch dressing home,
loving their ranch dressing, Popeyes, all the unhealthy. They're getting it all in right now. Everybody should go back with an angioplasty too.
You get Alexi and Zlatan,
whatever's going on there too. Yes, yeah. People are like but it's become a cultural thing here that we hoped it would be. But the days before it sure as hell wasn't. Yeah. It didn't feel that way. So. I mean, this World Cup in every sense of what could be deemed a success, I think has already happened. Like culturally, athletically, we'll find out. If the U.S. can get to a quarterfinal, that could have huge. And then like legacy-wise, we'll find out in the future. But as far as it being a thing that has swept up our country and feels almost like cathartic right now, it's done that already. And we're like 2 weeks in.
I do have one like gripe or one thing that I don't love.
Okay, I got a lot of other things to go, but go ahead.
Why are we making Country Roads the unofficial song of the United States of America World Cup men's soccer team?
I don't know, but
it's terrible. Like the song is fun to sing. It's like catchy. It's not fun to sing after the U.S. beat Australia and to belt it out like it is the song of the United States of America. I have nothing against West Virginia. Know some great people from there. Country roads, cool. There are a lot of roads in the U.S. that are not country roads. Is there even anybody on our roster from West Virginia?
I have to look that up. I don't believe so.
I don't know. I'm just saying no. But like this,
half the roster wasn't born in America. That's a whole different thing. But go ahead.
There are 20. I rattled off 8 songs to you just in a row the other day of like songs that are catchy, that are popular, that would be more relevant to just have all of these Americans belt out after soccer game than Country Roads. But what are we doing?
You already answered your own question. It's catchy and it's easy to sing and people know the words.
It doesn't matter. There's 10 more. It's just because that's whatever random DJ that's probably from West Virginia decided to play.
This is
and then they start putting it on social media. Everybody's like, this is the song of the United States. No, it's not.
But you're answering your own question. What we just said, what's catchy, you can sing it. Everybody knows the words. And in that moment, they played it. And as the players were walking around, they didn't want to leave the field. We were still standing on our seats with nowhere to go, and we were singing too. Maybe you weren't. I was. I was like, this is awesome. I didn't want to leave. They were taking in this moment. But people that weren't there got to participate in that moment. And they got to sing the song too. And they get to belt it out in their house.
Should be fired.
They get to belt it out in their house. And that is what people are gravitating towards. They could have played other songs as long as we could sing it and people would share in that moment. And the players were all singing and the players were loving it.
Other songs they could have played.
You're missing the point. Moments.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. The song doesn't matter. It's the moment then people then gravitate towards. And now, yes, because it became a moment, you want to replay it.
I think the biggest issue with that song for me is literally the whole song is for West Virginia.
It's actually, I think it's West Virginia and Maryland, if I recall, driving through the roads. But anyway, go ahead.
That's what they play at sporting events there in West Virginia. That's what people from West Virginia are prideful about. And there's nothing wrong with being prideful about West Virginia, except for that's not the United States of America. So you picked a song that represents one state out of the United States of America, and that is now the song that we're singing after all of our games. There are much, much better, more catchy songs that we could play. That don't have to. You could play "Shout" for all I care. You could play "Get Low." You could play anything that this entire room is going to sing, and that's what we're going with.
Yeah, I don't particularly think the song has to be it either. But once that moment's created, it doesn't matter. It's been set into people's minds, it was literally allowed them. They knew they were going to win the group and go on to the World Cup knockout round. Like, it was all positive vibes.
I mean, I don't
but we're
even
not their
care.
champions yet. But
we're not from West Virginia either.
some people are,
No.
and Americans. But Americans like the song and they know the words. Like some people feel represented by that. That's the whole point. It's like those dudes were all singing and walking around.
Popularity of U.S. songs, what that one even is.
I mean, what does it mean? Popularity of U.S. songs. Is this your hot take
Top
for the
100.
show? You came in here.
No, I just popped in my head. I told you this the other day. I was
I know,
texting
but like
you all pissed about it.
I think you're so angry about it, but it doesn't matter. The song, you're right, could have been anything. But once that thing is created, people want that moment.
That DJ needs to be fired.
Okay.
What else do you have?
A couple things. So before the game, as you know, would you put your phone down?
Where does Country Roads rank on top charts?
What do you mean top chart? What does that even mean?
I don't know. We'll see what Google comes up with. Go ahead.
We're not doing a pod while I sit here while you Google stuff. So I'll stand by while you. If you would ask, like,
I mean, it originally peaked at number 2, but that was back in 1971.
my point, if you want to look it up, like, what was the top list of 100 songs in the 1900s? Where did Country Roads rank? Those were lists were created.
Does Country Roads rank in top list of?
This is bad potting here.
I know, that's why I was going to let you talk.
But who am I talking to?
People are probably curious now if it even ranks in the top 100 top list.
I hate when you know what, just something with the audience listen to this. Kelsey can't just write a text. You got to keep doing it. Write a text or like type without saying it out loud as you hear her. Where does something rank? Like, she has to audibly do this thing.
Billboard 100 best country songs of all time.
Okay. Where's it at?
It says it's on the list, but it's just in the list of country. So
All right. Can we move on?
yeah, because this has already gotten more attention than it deserves. It's not the official song of the United States of America. Before the game, what happened for you?
As we were walking to the game, there was a level of like anxiety. Like, I felt like I wanted to like tackle somebody. Like, I'm amped up. I'm ready for the game, but there's like an anxiousness. Like, they gotta think about this. I've watched every World Cup game since 1994. I did the math the other day. I think that was 22 World Cup games in 32 years. Like, they don't happen often. So like, anyone matters so much, and you're so excited, like anxious and like nervous, whatever. Come into the stadium. We get there 2.5 hours early because we had some line warriors. They wanted to be there very early. We breezed through that line in 45 seconds.
You're worried about futures.
45 seconds. Got in quick. They're at 9:30 for a noon local kickoff. Beers are only $30 a beer, so good deal. But we walk in the concourse.
Probably was a good deal because then you didn't have many.
I think I had 2 beers the whole game. So we're walking through, looking at stuff, talking to each other, blah, blah, hanging out. But there had not been any USA chants. We get to our seats. We're sitting there, still anxious, amped up. We got next to us, we got a couple that's together that are also USA fans. I'm pretty sure I got the first USA chant off. Would you like to confirm that? The first one in the building, I believe, I was patient zero, around 30 minutes to kick off.
I can confirm that you most definitely started the very first USA chant. And I can confirm it because, like you said, we were there 2.5 hours early. And there were no chants.
No chance.
Until about 40 minutes before kick, when we were sitting in our seat and you started
standing, anxious, watching the guys.
Sorry.
And you know what I thought in my head? I'm like, Kels will probably follow. But the guy next to me, never got his name. But I knew when I started, that guy also.
He was gonna follow over
I
me.
knew he was going to follow. I said Kels probably will. But you need people that aren't connected.
You need 2 people in a sea of 60,000.
Why for a chant? Yeah, you do. You need like 2 people. Then it becomes 8. Then it becomes 16. We saw it happen, and I knew in my head, I'm like, that guy's going to belt it out with me. Threw that USA up. He followed with freaking gusto, and then next thing you know, the whole right quadrant of our thing just sections up. USA, USA. Oh, it was great. And then I looked out at you and I said, I think I started the first chant here. Never been prouder.
I was gonna say, is that the third best moment of your life?
First. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry, Dace. Sorry, marriage. It's first.
Top best moment of your life.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
That's the pinnacle, the apex of my life.
That was a pretty big one. I think the picture that I got of you staring longingly at the field with the stadium behind you, like, it pretty much like captures what that moment was like.
Actually, that wasn't long and late. I was evaluating our players' warm-ups. I was really locked in. I was like, Tyler looks ready. He looks ready. His touch looks good. Chris Richards, 83 for 83 passing the other day. Dialed. I was ready to go. Evaluating.
What else you got? You said that was the first thing.
Yeah. The other thing is I do recall, you mentioned the families here, and what I think is remarkable, and I hope those kids that can remember will remember that forever. But there also are a lot of men there. I did just become real crystal clear to me how depraved men are. Because we finally decided to walk out of the stadium. Lovely wife, decked out in her USA shirt, USA short, like short white shorts. You look great, USA shirt. But if you've ever noticed, and if you've ever done this before, you can walk behind somebody that's attractive a couple feet and you see some shit. When you're their husband, you really see some shit. And it's just, I mean, at the end of the game, we finally get out of there. I mentioned how great the vibes are. Everybody's positive. But clearly, dudes are a little drunk now. There was one guy that we were trying to, like, give high fives to. Do you recall this on the way out?
We were going back down to our seats.
That was down to our seats. This is when the depravity started. We're going down to our seats, and I'm like 4 or 5 things behind. And he's, like, giving people high fives. He gives you a high five. And then as he doesn't see me behind him, then he goes... I like, hey. Like, hey. He's like, oh, God. Like, a little shocked. Okay. But on the way out
turned around and grabbed me.
Exactly. On the way out of the stadium. I'm not kidding. We walked all the way around. Good call by you. Don't go to the concourse. We stayed in the interior bowl. It was shorter. Definitely less people. Easier to navigate.
Call me Magellan.
You ran McNally, girl. You give her that map. She's ready. Fucking go. But you are leading the way. And I'm a couple feet back. The amount of dudes that are just like, hey. The looks you get, I'm like, dude, you guys are so creepy, and you are oblivious to it. You're just walking through, and I'm just like watching these guys react as we try to get the hell out of here. And I, as I said, have had like a beer, so I'm basically sober, and I'm watching these definitely drunk, super happy American fans. So I'm all good. It's fine. Nobody's fine. But it's just like to watch the depravity. It just doesn't stop. We are who we are, and it just was in full view for me as I walked out, like 4 feet behind you and watching you just walk out.
I didn't know that was what was coming. Thank you for the shout out, I guess,
Yeah.
indirectly. Is there a part of you when that happens that's like, okay, yeah, like you're like, cool, like you're looking, but that's mine. Do you feel proud?
There's
Do you feel proud that it catches someone's attention?
Well, babe, it's an empirical fact. I think you're an attractive person. They're going to think that too. Most I'm gonna say, okay, I can't speak for every man, but most of them will. And especially if you're repping the colors well, shirt is definitely low cut. They're enjoying what they see walk by. I'm enjoying watching you too. But yes, that's mine. So I feel good about that. But yes, they are. I think the more along the lines of, yeah, there's somewhat, but I'm like, that's mine. I'm cool. That's cool. That's why you're not mad. It's like, yeah, that's mine. But there's also like, God, we are really pathetic and not sly either. I mean, it's just like hey, like, because they had a couple times where guys on opposite sides of the thing, like, hey,
I'm like, I didn't notice, so sign up for that.
I know you're like, just clueless. I'm watching these guys.
I'm
just watching these guys. I'm like, this is creepy.
It's like being at like a bar together and see some like girl try to flirt with you or something, and then I feel like I would just be like, and then
when has that ever happened?
No, I'm laying out a scenario. We don't even go to bars. I'm laying out
a what to say? What are you even talking about?
There would be a moment of pride for me that's like, that's cute. Okay, come on, that's my husband. As I look, then you don't have your ring on, you jerk.
Yeah, my bad. It's downstairs.
I know, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, should we tell the story of like why it's fine? Because we got a ring that I knew was going to be too big for you.
No, my ring's fine. I wear my ring all the time. Usually when we do the show, I wear the ring.
Well, I know, but I feel like you have to take it off more for a long time because we were worried about losing it. Because we did lose it once in Charleston.
Oh, that's right.
Christmas Day, Christmas night,
Christmas Eve,
and we had the whole house turned upside down. It wasn't Christmas Eve. We had opened all the presents. It was after Christmas. And we had everybody looking in the trash.
It was Christmas Eve night. Because that was when you guys opened the... maybe it was Christmas night then. All right, fine.
Yeah. Or maybe
it was Christmas night. We flew on Christmas Eve. Christmas night. Go ahead.
It was actually the 26th because it was when Shannon and Max got there. So it was the day after Christmas.
Day after Christmas. Boxing Day. Go ahead.
Boxing Day. And we did lose the ring because it was too big for you.
Well, I don't even remember what happened. It was in the washing machine, though.
Yeah, because it probably fell off when you... took something
when I was trying to stick stuff out. Yeah, sometimes it happens when it's cold. My fingers are fat now, though. You're good to go. It's fine. I grew right into that thing. We're fine.
Not.
Fat fingers. We're fine. Like Goldfinger. Fat F. We're good to go.
Oh God! All right, are those all your World Cup thoughts?
The last one I'll go. The last anecdote is walking out of the stadium. We finally got out. It is that vibe, that like euphoric feeling of this.
High five, maybe 100 people.
This is where I'm going. Like this sea of people walking out in just a state of euphoria. Like the vibes are almost indescribable. Like everybody is just floating. And it's, 2:00 in the afternoon. The sun is high in the sky. Like, because the day is still ahead of us. Like, we just had this awesome experience, and then let's just go keep hanging out. And we were walking down the street, and this bar had an outdoor patio. And this is one of the high five centers. And there's people hanging out there, and they're just lining up to dap people up. And I happen to be like just on the inside of you guys, and it was like all you guys there. And I'm like, I'm not going to fight to get in the line to dap everybody up, but I'm right there with everybody. I'm yelling something, who knows. You did not see this. I think I told you about it later. But in this whole sea of people that were in the bar, there's a guy in a Germany jersey, like three lines of people in, where everybody's leaning over to give high fives. He's like 3 people in. We'll call him Hans. Hans is sitting there with his Germany jersey with the smuggest smirk on his freaking face. And I've seen this before. When we played Germany in 2014, they look at us like these, like, who are these clown fans? You guys are a joke. Like I went from this state of euphoria to being like, I literally laughed at the guy and pointed like this, like, what the? I was like a little mad. I was like smiling, almost like I wish I could hit this guy. But he's the one guy that's not happy, and that smug smile from Heinrich just pissed me off. And like that moment, it took me like 10 seconds of anger, right back to euphoria. But he did get me. He got me quickly to get out of the euphoric state that I was in.
That was his goal, I guess.
He succeeded. Just standing like this. Smug.
I was noticing like the Brazil fans and the other Australian fans as well that were dapping us up and giving us high fives. At that point, everybody was just a fan of America, other than your German guy, I guess.
Friedrich.
Now that he has 12 different names.
Mm-hmm.
Are you done with your World Cup takes? For now.
We were in bed by 8:30, I think, that night. So that was
a
hell of a night.
Yeah. I was going to say, as we were dapping people up through the hallways, did you expect us to order food to our room and eat on the bed while watching whoever was playing that night?
Paraguay, Turkey. No, I didn't. I also didn't anticipate doing 30 minutes of legs that morning, which I don't typically do, and then walking one of the hillier cities in our country, which I didn't realize was that hilly.
It is really hilly.
To the point at like 6 o'clock, I was like, I'm really hurt. Like, this was a bad plan. And also, of course, we stood up for about 6 hours during the day, too. So, yeah.
What was your favorite part of solo dating for 5 days?
The moment you got home.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's obvious.
I'll come up with something else.
Daddy-daughter date night was very sweet. I always enjoy the time me and Leah get to spend together. We saw Toy Story 5, which was great. We saw it in 3D. Here's a surprise one for you to keep it on the soccer theme. We went to the bounce house. There's a place in our town that has this bounce houses, that big, inflatable bounce houses. There's like 8 or 9 of them there. And kids are always just going nuts at the bounce house. And Dace likes it sometimes. He'll get in there. Sometimes he won't. But there was a little like basketball, and he treats every ball like a soccer ball now. And there's a big open area there. Me and him kicked the ball back and forth together for 30 minutes. I'm not kidding. He's kept going and chasing it and getting it and kicking it. That was like the first like kick around. We kicked the ball a lot, but like that was a long time. When I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, I hope we do this until I'm decrepit. Like, I hope we do this. I hope you want to do this, and I will always want to say yes, and I will always want to do that with you, to the point where I'm in my head, I'm like, maybe we'll be going to the field in like 2 years, and maybe he'll be doing cone drills or whatever. Like, I don't know, but it was like, was that the first like real time we had like that, which was kind of cool.
That's sweet. He has really taken I think it's taken a liking to soccer is what I was going to say. I think it's really cool that he obviously likes soccer, that he is enjoying not just like doing one thing, like he will just, pass the ball back and forth with us, but that he has already this like affinity for it while the World Cup is happening. Mm-hmm. Like, to be at this age, at this time in his life where he's figuring out, and to be able to watch soccer all the time, I think is pretty cool. I watch soccer.
He just likes to have the TV on, but that is because it was.
But that's my point.
But no,
he
like,
does get to have it on now because we're watching soccer. So,
but this is the evolution of it. I think like 6 months ago when he first started watching shows, he'd be like, "Watch Elmo, watch Mickey." No. But then when I'm home more, we would watch basketball sometimes during the season. But a lot of basketball games are at night or I'm gone, and I don't think you don't have games on like I do. For soccer, there's so many soccer games we're watching at 8 a.m. or 7:30 or 9 a.m. where he's fully awake, and golf the same way. So like it's become part of his routine. Like watch Elmo, no. Watch movie, no. Watch soccer, watch golf. Like, and like now he just leads with watch soccer or watch, because now I'm like, do you just want the TV on or do you actually like them? And then the last 2 or 3 months it's been like, oh, you actually like this. So you like to have the golf on, you'll get your clubs. You like to have the soccer ball, and you want to do free kicks for 20 minutes in front of which is great. And I
don't understand the free kick thing. He's obsessed with setting it up. It has to be right on the edge of the rug, so much so that he trips on it often because he goes to like
but yes.
Oh, sorry, he's athletic, but he does. He trips on it because his little foot catches on the side of the rug when he goes to wind up and kick. That's not the weird part. The fact that he has to back up all the way to the chairs with his head touching the back of the chair, and he stays there like this for like 5 seconds and then gets his running start to go. I'm like, what did he see that makes him do whatever that is? It's hilarious.
He clearly saw a free kick or a penalty, and he mimics the same thing. He does his steps back. He like does his whole thing. He's got a routine.
I don't know why it's like he needs to feel secure leaning back on what he is.
I don't know.
And he will not, for the life of me trying to fix it. He lines up, you're like, oh damn, he's about to take a great left-footed kick. And then he runs around it and circles back to hit it with his right foot. I can't get him to like...
I just want him to touch it with his left foot right now. It's hard. Like he is Mr. Righty.
He's not into it. It is really cool how much he likes soccer. That has been fun.
But yes, that was probably one of my favorite moments was our little kickabout there, which is good. Because we've passed the ball. We do it all the time. We did it in the front yard with him, Ihu, and Lyra last week. It was the first time it was me and him, and it was like so long. I'm like, oh, he really likes doing this. Like this is something we're gonna be doing.
He likes doing it so much that it's like his new put off bedtime routine. Like he got me for an extra 20 minutes downstairs today because we just stayed downstairs dribbling, and then we kicked the balloon back and forth for a little while, and then passing back and forth. Yeah.
I've never seen. He was all exhausted that night though too. He ran around that thing. And that was a lot of running. So partially maybe why I loved it too.
Yeah.
But I do think back. Like I think about like one of my favorite things as a kid was like, Dad, you want to go have a catch? That's why that line in like Field of Dreams, I become a puddle. It's like that is a real experience for a lot of young boys, but particularly ones that were like athletes, and particularly ones like myself. But there were a lot of times. My dad was just gone a lot. He was busy a lot. There's a lot of kids, and there were times that you want to catch. No, like I don't want to do that. Like now, I don't want to. It's like I was thinking to myself, like I don't ever want to tell him no. Like if he ever wants to do that, yes. And like how maybe I can only be 10 minutes or maybe only 12. I don't want to even limit it. But if I have to, like it's better than just saying like, no, I can't, or I'll get it you next week. Like that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have that memory because I do remember the times we got to have a catch, whether it was football or basketball, and the times we shot hoops, which wasn't really as much, honestly, which is weird because that's what we shared the most. But I don't know, maybe I'm thinking more of my formative years, like being like a young kid, like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. But no, I really like that's something that I want to always be. That should be an automatic yes.
Mm-hmm. I feel the same way. It's like hard for me when it's something with sports that he wants to. I mean, let's be honest. I guess it's hard for me to tell him no matter what it is that he wants to do with me. But I do think it's special with sports. It's just like we're like, okay, you can play sports in the house. Like, oh, you can play downstairs. You can kick. You can throw. You can hit this golf club. Now, if we had a fireplace that did not have to be replaced, maybe it would be different because we'd be worried about the glass screen in front of it. But since it doesn't work anyways, I'm like, it's kind of a free-for-all. Your sister-in-law had the great idea, just turn that into a soccer goal instead of
might be the good way to go.
And I was like, that actually sounds brilliant for right now. That's what we should do. We should just pull the stuff out. So it's not a liability for now, and then he can really score some goals.
He's gonna need to, like I've said before, like we can't use those lighter balls. Like he's kicking the crap out of them.
I know.
Like so we need to go back to the actual soccer balls.
He won't kick it though. I tried to get him to play with it tonight. He'll do it for a second, then he wants to go get his little. I think he likes that it goes in the air, and it hurts his foot less. He's down there playing barefoot. It's easier to kick. It doesn't hurt. It goes high.
We'll work on his form. We gotta open his foot up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're getting away from our. Maybe he's not an athlete. Who cares?
Can I say something else that you made me think of there for a second?
Sure.
You just mentioned you don't like to say no to him at all. I think that's part of the reason I like to tell him no. I'm trying to balance this out. I feel like he's like shocked and was like, no, we're not doing that. Like he doesn't handle it very well, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold the line here, buddy. We're not doing this.
There are plenty of lines that I hold with him.
Okay. You just said it before. I didn't say anything. I was
Then you
agreeing with the
doubled
statement.
down. It was like
I
a
was
joke
agreeing with
when
your
I said
statement.
it.
I was agreeing with your statement. Maybe you don't like
Didn't
it.
you hear me in the kitchen the other morning when he was begging, whining, crying, "Mommy, come, mommy, hold, mommy, do this." And I said, "Dace, mommy is going to make her coffee and some breakfast. You could go in there and play, and I will come when I'm done."
This was my point. When I heard you say that, it probably made my day. I really enjoy telling him no. I was kidding.
I'm working on it, but we have like Dace and I have a different relationship than you guys do. Like me saying no is like automatic tears, heartbreak, because it could just be like, I can't do that right now. I'm going to come in a second. And he's like a freaking puddle. If you tell him no, he's like, all right, fine. I'm going to go find something else to do.
I'm good. All right, cool.
It's a different reaction. Therefore, like it hurts me a little bit more and a little bit differently. We're about to go out of town and I'm pretty giddy.
Oh, okay.
I'm just excited. Like we haven't gotten to go home with Lear in a long time. Home being Charleston for me. I know my family's super excited to have us all coming. I know she's excited. I know Dace is excited. Dace this morning when he woke up. Was that this morning? No, that was from his nap. When he woke up from his nap, I walked in and he had just kind of started crying a little bit. And, he talks to himself for a little while. So I open the door and I go, "Hey, buddy." He's like, "Where'd Grumpy Hap go?" And I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean? Where Grumpy Hap? I need a Grumpy Hap. I need to go to their house." It was so sad. And then I said, "Well, they're in Charleston." And he just like started crying. Dace is super excited to go. Was talking about it all the time was my point there. And I'm just like, I have a lot of friends that are going to be in town with their kids. And I'm really excited. Although like, it's not like, you're going to want to have every day lined out to a T. I'm just excited about the possibilities of being there for so long and not feeling rushed and feeling slow and just pool, beach, golf cart, whatever. And then just hanging and then having so much family there and your mom's coming in town and getting Dace baptized. I just am really excited about and think that it's really special too, that we're going to be able to do this, especially at a church that means so much to me with my grandmother who's 97. I know it's going to be really special to her being able to be there and the rest of the family. I feel like for a long time, you and I, ever since basketball season, have been saying things are going to slow down and they haven't slowed down and we haven't made time for them to slow down. So I'm excited to be out of town and hopefully make time for things to be slow and easy.
Okay. This is one of those things like, you don't want to turn a smile into a frown or anything. And I don't think I am. I don't want everything lined up to a T. I don't want that at all. The only thing I wanted to do, but Sean and your dad wanted to figure out when they would like to golf. They figured out the time. I said, deal. The U.S. soccer game is that night at 8 o'clock. I have a radio hit. That's all I need. My Wednesday from 2 to 8 to 10 p.m. That's the only thing that's lined up. Other than that, I do not care what we do. It does not matter to me. We can do whatever you want to do. I hope your desires for a family-filled, fun, feeling slowed down come to fruition. I am skeptical. There's a lot of people there. We've got my mom and Fred there as well, which is another element of managing people. I hope it all works out the way you want it to. And all I'm going to do is try to be helpful to accomplish that goal and make sure you, Lyra, and Dace have fun. And that's it. So I hope that is the case. I hope we come back feeling even a little bit refreshed. Would be great.
You're going to come back feeling really refreshed because you're coming back and Dace and I are staying. So
I'm not going to come back refreshed.
Sure, you're going to.
But my refreshing is going to be heavy on July 8th and 9th.
Stay there longer. Good idea.
Also, you do know I'm not golfing. I'm doing the radio both those days. But either way, I will be able to have 2 days to relax. Yes. My point is, I hope we have the fun time that you want to have and feel slow in it and not, like we're trying to see everybody or trying to do all these different things. Because I don't care what we do.
I think it's going to be great.
Good.
I'm excited.
I told you.
I think it's interesting too to be from a place that like so many people love and like want to talk about it. Or like, why don't you live there? Like people love Charleston.
I love going there. I think it's great. I think it's an awesome place to visit. I think it's a great place to be.
Do you feel like you've gotten like the Charleston experience? So like it's not like we've done that much, like going downtown or like going out Like we've gone out to dinner and drinks and things occasionally there. But I feel like when it comes to, what you experience visiting Charleston is sometimes different than when you live there, because like you take all those things for granted. Like I say that with my parents all the time. Like, they don't go to the beach that often. It's not like they go to downtown dinners that often, because like you live there, so why do you need to? I think when things are in our like proximity, we have the tendency to sometimes like take them for granted because they'll always be there. We do that with people too.
For sure, we do that with people. I think we're in a more like egregious sense, honestly, which is not a good thing, but we definitely do that. And something that as we're both saying that out loud, we probably shouldn't do that. We should probably be more cognizant of how to not have that happen in our lives. But I've visited Charleston twice in a totally social setting where I feel like I got some of those like great meals, great cocktail places, that awful shot at Pearls. We did that one day, I think. I've got it in there. I'm good. Like, I like the fact that there are other things that we do there that aren't, of the touristy version. But the food there is awesome and the cocktails are awesome. So like for us, like if we found a night where we got to go to dinner downtown, yeah, I'd really like that. And if your parents, like when you're especially in that close proximity, like if we lived 10 minutes from New York City, we'd be there all the time. Mm-hmm. I think it's like any date night would be there, and we'd probably go see shows more. And so when it is a little bit further, it becomes a little bit more harder to do. But I think that's part of like when you live in close proximity to a great place, if you're not taking advantage of it, you're missing out on why you live there. And being from there probably affects them too, but it's a great town. And I do love the fact that I feel like the food and the drink is like competitive for the places, like to be better than the other places in town. People
are so kind.
Yeah, when you go downtown, I don't know how many Charlestonians I'm running around. Is that the right term? Mm-hmm. But yeah, they do a lot of waving and saying hello. A lot of waving and saying hello. It feels very different. It's like, no, anybody that's from the north feels that difference, and it's a good thing. It's like when I'm walking with Dace in the mornings, especially the first year he was born, I was out there doing walks with him all the time. Random people, hey, how are you? Hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, hi. So when I come back and I do that, and people, I'm like, hey, how you doing? They're like this.
Welcome to my life.
I'm like, damn, jeez, okay, that doesn't feel the same, but yeah, we're okay.
Before we go, we do a lot of things on this podcast. We have to also hold each other accountable.
Oh boy.
I didn't schedule the date for us to meet with that guy yet. I didn't lock you down to meet with a estate
I know that
person.
Oh. I'm aware.
So you need to also hold me accountable, and we need to hold each other accountable, because this is something that we need to do.
Okay. Yeah.
I did text you about a date and you didn't respond.
No, I didn't. I said pick whatever one you want.
No, I texted you about a specific date and you didn't respond.
We'll have to look at the phone then. Okay, then if that ever happens, send another text, babe.
I did.
Think about the other way around. I'm gonna look this. What?
We were talking about like 10 things at once, and then you like answered other ones and moved on.
I think I said I don't care. Whatever it was, you asked about a couple dates. Yeah, you think about if that was opposite. Think about if I wanted to schedule something and you didn't answer me. How many minutes would go by before I asked you again to answer that question?
7.
Probably about right. Maybe 4. So, if and when that situation happens again, please proceed accordingly. Don't wait till a podcast come up to bring it up.
Well, I wasn't bringing up like airing dirty laundry. I was bringing it up like we told people we'd probably have an update to what it's like to sit there and talk about planning for your death, and we do not have that update yet.
Okay.
So we'll get it on the calendar.
This is how old I am, by the way. I was trying to look it up while we're still on the thing. Instead of searching it, do you know what I was doing?
Just scrolling through our text?
No, I was texting you and wrote estate, and I almost hit send.
That's something that I would have left out of the podcast. At least it's the end. Maybe we can.
Why? I'm old. It's okay. I'm old. Okay. Old man.
Do you want to talk about how the fact that I got carded at a hotel bar and you were very offended that you didn't?
That was tough. That was. I got to say, I'm not shocked often.
You're not shocked often.
That one got me.
So you're shocked
you looked young, but I got a hat on. Like, come on, I could look young. If you're gonna do it with her, you got to do it with me.
You don't think that I look that young, or that you think you look my age? Do you think that we look the same age?
No, I look younger. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I thought that until the lady told me in Seattle I don't. So now I've been
You thought
corrected.
you looked the same age?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I think you look the same age.
I think I look younger.
You think you look younger than I do?
I said it again. You're still shocked. Until the lady in Seattle said no. So no, I don't. If I have a hat on, you can't see these wrinkles up here. I got a shot.
Do you really think you look younger than me?
I don't know. In that regard, you were wearing your USA outfit. No, definitely you looked younger than me. You look like,
But just sitting here, person to person right now, you look younger than me.
Give me a hat. Let me get a hat on. Maybe.
I've had Botox.
What's that even mean?
That I definitely look younger.
You can really see the age in your hands. That's really
My
what comes in.
hands look amazing.
Your nails look good right now. How long do you chew them off?
What?
How long do you chew them off?
I already glued this one back on today. Whatever, we're out of here.
Oh, wow, she's salty. No, baby.
I'm just shocked.
You look younger than me, babe. And it was heartbreaking for that lady to tell me.
I am younger than you.
That she said.
Significantly.
It's 5 years.
Half a decade.
Well, the older we get, the smaller that number gets relative to our age. So it's not really that big a deal.
That number never gets smaller.
No, our relation to each other. But as our age grows, it's a smaller percentage of the lifetime we've been on the planet. So it's not as a big as effect.
Oh, is that what you
Like 21 and 16 is pretty significant, right?
Being over 40 feels probably the same too.
No, it doesn't. So I will.
I'll
remember that. I'll remember that on November 20th.
Not
20,
this year.
2028.
28.
Yeah. Wow. Can you?
No, not 28, 29. Oh, damn, you're right.
You don't know your own age?
Bye. No,
wow.